On Tuesday, record highs fell across northeast Wisconsin, with Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh, even Wisconsin Rapids, all toppling records, and most of those had stood for decades. Some of those old records had stood for more than 100 years. And with Thursday's high again expected to flirt with 50, we're probably going to smash even more record highs. And if it seems like you've been hearing about more record highs, more and more in recent years, there's a good reason for that. Now, this is a look at the number of record highs that are currently held, organized by each decade. Now, there's only 366 of them to go around. Leap day is a thing. So these numbers are always shifting around. But a couple things immediately stick out. First is the incredible heat of the Dust Bowl era in the 1930s. If you look back at Green Bay's record books, the summer months are littered with records set in the 1930s. But the second thing you'll notice is the trend that we've been seeing since the 1970s. That was a decade that was known for some pretty brutal winters. Each decade since has trended upwards, more and more record highs set in each decade. But it's the last few years in particular that have really reached another level. Now, if you were to divide the records evenly by decade, you would expect each decade to have about 26 records if they were distributed normally, evenly. And even though it doesn't seem like a big jump from the 2010s to the 2020s, bear in mind, we're only 5 years into the 2020s, and we've already set more records than in all of the prior decade. So it really puts into perspective this recent spike. With 45 record highs since 2020, we're on pace to see 90 by the end of the decade. That's more than 3 times what the normal distribution would be. And while that pace might not be sustainable, it does highlight some drastic changes to our weather that we've been seeing over the last couple decades. Meteorologist Phil DeCastro, Fox 11 News.